Hi everyone. This is a Ubuntu HTTPS Python demo in SP2302. In this video, we will show you how to use Python to communicate HTTP in SSL. This video will show how to create a HTTPS server and client with communication to Adafruit IO. Hardware requirements. For hardware requirements, we required to have a SP2302 board with a TTL to USB converter and Type-C power supply. It includes an Ethernet cable for HTTP communication. Hardware connection. For hardware connection, the converter required to connect the pins next to the SP2301 module. The power supply will be directly above the SP2301 module. Please connect the Ethernet cable between SP2302 RJ45 port to a router has internet access. PuTTY Setup. In this demo, we will use PuTTY Serial Terminal to run SP2302 Ubuntu Linux system. Before heading to the terminal, please make sure your parameters are correct. The parameters for SP2302 will showed in this video. When you had set the parameters correctly, we could start operate the Ubuntu system. Get key and certificate from OpenSSL. For creating a HTTPS server, it requires a self-made key and certificate. Typing the command shown on the video could get the private key for the HTTPS server. OpenSSL has been pre-installed in the Ubuntu OS. You could type in OpenSSL for more details. After private key has generated, we could create the self-signed certificate. Please type in the command shown on this video. After adding the command line, it required to add information for the certificate. In this demo, we will press enter to skip for simple testing purpose. As you could see, the certificate and private key for the HTTPS server has been created by OpenSSL. HTTPS server in SP2302. Since we created the certificate and key, we could create a HTTPS server. Let's have a look on the HTTPS server codes. The GitHub code link will be shown on the description. In this code, it used SSL and request handler to operate the response in background. We need to set the SP2302 address with HTTPS port number. Next, we need to provide the correct path for the key and certificate. Loading these information to SSL function for SSL communication. Now, we could create a HTTP server. This HTTP server will wrap with SSL. After all the setups, we could run the program and wait for a client to connect. Right now, we could try to run the HTTPS server. We opened a web browser for checking the results. We could go to our web browser and towards to the web page made by SP2302. From the web page, we could see the message made by SP2302 HTTPS server. We could also see the request message from the PC's web browser. HTTPS client in SP2302. HTTPS client does not require any self-make certificate or keys. Let's have a look on the HTTPS client codes. The GitHub link for this code is in the description. In the codes, we had used request method to communicate with HTTPS server. We used HTTPS get request to get information from the server. After sending the request, we will receive the response from the server. Unless you have received an error during communication. For this example, we will try to communicate with Google. Now, we will try to run the codes. After the request has sent, it takes a moment for receiving the response. From the response, we found that we received the success response code, included with the response details. HTTPS client to Adafruit IO in SP2302. In this section, we will communicate with Adafruit IO using HTTPS client. The GitHub link for this code is in the description. In this HTTPS code, it is based on two sections. Both sections required to use request for HTTPS and JSON format. The first section is publishing data using post request. After creating the header for the post request, we need to add it with Adafruit's URL and payload. If we receive the correct response, we should see the data published on Adafruit IO. SP2302 will show the success message, unless error has occurred. The next section is getting latest data from Adafruit IO with GET request. After sending the correct format to Adafruit IO, we will receive a JSON response. This response will be handled by JSON and request library. This includes error handling when receiving data from the server. In our example, we will upload a message to Adafruit IO and receive this latest data from Adafruit IO. Finally, let's review the result of this code. After the code is done, we could see the Adafruit IO has received the uploaded message. For collecting the latest message, we could see SP2302 collects the latest message from Adafruit IO. Thank you for watching. This video ends here. Please like and subscribe our channel.